Do you struggle generating content for your website? In today's video, I'll show you how we can automatically generate high quality WordPress blog posts using N8N, Ollama, and ComfyUI. So stay tuned and I'll walk you through the entire process. Hi everybody, so today we're going to go through a workflow that generates high quality blog posts. It's completely self-hosted, and what I mean by that is I'm using Ollama on my local machine as well as ComfyUI to generate images. So let's get into it. The first part is you'll see that this workflow is connected to an RSS feed. Here I've just connected to an AI-related RSS feed, deepmind.com. What we're doing is we're checking to see when we receive the data from the RSS feed. We're checking to see if there is an existing image. We then go ahead and set our settings. And so you'll just see here, I've just add my WordPress URL, if there's any keywords, how many chapters, words, and categories. We then enter our first AI agent. And from here, you'll see this AI agent's responsibility is to create post titles and structure the plot outline for the blog post. I've connected it to Ollama chat, and I have a structured output parser that will dictate the format that the JSON needs to be in. So in this example, it needs to have a title, subtitle, introduction, conclusion, as well as an image prompt. Within the chapters, once the AI agent generates the JSON, we check whether or not the data is correctly structured, and you'll see that we've got the JSON title, making sure it's not empty, making sure that there are greater than 1 chapters, there's a subtitle, introduction, conclusion, as well as an image prompt. If the JSON is not in the correct format or any of the required data is missing, we'll go back into the AI agent and it will regenerate the blog post until it gets the data into the correct format. Once we have the data in the correct format, we then go ahead and split out all the chapters. So what we're doing here in the JSON array, I split out all the different chapters. I do this so that when we go into our next AI agent, which is to create the chapter text, their task is to simply start writing the blog. And you'll see there's a bunch of different guidelines on how they should or should not write the blog. You'll see here, I'm using Ollama Chat Model 1. This again is self-hosted on my local computer. This means that I don't need to pay for any API calls. It's completely free as it's using my computer's resources. After the AI agent has created the chapter's text, we then go and merge the chapter titles as well as the chapters into an array. So we'll see that all in action later. We then produce a final text. We have this JavaScript function which goes ahead and combines all of the different chapters, introductions, and conclusions. It will also remove any markdown language and replace it with HTML so that when we do upload it to our WordPress blog, it is formatted correctly. Once we have the final article text, we'll go and upload that directly into WordPress. You'll see here that I'm just taking the title, the author name, posting the article, and I post it in draft because it's always a good idea to have a human in the loop that actually reviews the blog post before publishing it live to your website. And a few other things, we can just see that I'm going to post it into a different category. Here we go into our first check, whether or not we found an image from the original RSS feed. Here you'll see that we have two different ComfyUI nodes. The first one is an image to text model where it will take in our prompts. So it will take our prompts from the very start of the workflow and it will produce an image from the text. Whereas if we find an image in the initial RSS feed, this workflow here is actually going to be an image to image generation where it will take the original image it found from the RSS feed and slightly tweak it in a little bit based upon our prompts so that we're not stealing an image from the original RSS feed. If you're curious as to what those workflows look like, it's in ComfyUI, and we can see here it's a little bit more complicated and it's probably good to go through it in another video. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm using a number of different open source models which produce different results and giving them instructions in order to produce some final output. And you can see some of the results here down the bottom. Back to our workflow, we'll pretend if we just go down the first branch with the ComfyUI. Once we generate the image, we'll then go and write this file to our local Docker container. I'm then using another JavaScript piece of code in order to make sure that I receive the last image, because sometimes the image generation produces multiple different images in order to get the final output. Then go and upload the image to our WordPress website And we can see here we've just got some settings to upload the image. Once we've uploaded the image to our WordPress website, we then go ahead and to set the featured image for our blog post. So we actually reference the URL that was received earlier when we first published, and then we go ahead and set the featured image, which was in our last node, so that the image will be attached to the blog post. At the very end, we'll receive a success message, and this is just simply for me to know that the workflow has been executed successfully, and it will give me the URL so that I can copy and paste and visit the new blog post directly in the browser. You could send a notification via email once the workflow has been completed, or you could send a notification to WhatsApp, Telegram, whatever way that you want to get notified to review the blog post that has been generated. One last thing that I did want to go through is at the very start, this RSS feed trigger. We can set how often we want it to poll the RSS feed. I can poll the RSS feed every single day on hour 14 automatically, which means that this workflow can automatically be scheduled every single day at 2 p.m. and you just need to review the blog post that gets completed. So now that I've explained the actual workflow, let's go ahead and test it. So I'll just simply test the workflow here, and you'll see it's retrieving the RSS feed, it's found the image or hasn't found the image, it's set the settings. Here our first AI agent is going to go ahead and create the post title and structure. We're using Ollama Chat for this, and it may repeat a couple of times depending if it's in the correct structure or not, which it is. We've split out all of the different chapters, and our second AI agent is writing the chapters out. Again, all locally hosted. We can see that we've got 5 items, which means it's writing 5 new chapters for our blog post. Whilst we're waiting, you can see that the second branch has gone into our merge chapters and title. So we're waiting for the AI agent to finish writing all of the chapters. So I'll just wait a little while and then I'll continue to explain. So we're up to item number 4, as you can see underneath the chat module memory there. So now we've gone ahead and the chapter titles, we've produced our final article test, and we've actually uploaded the blog post to WordPress. We then go into our first decision where we checked whether or not there was an image found. In this case, there was no image found. So we're using a text to image prompt, and this is calling our ComfyUI workflow. And whilst that is waiting, quickly what's happening in the background, you can see it's going ahead and producing the image. Once the ComfyUI workflow has finished, it goes ahead and generates the image. We'll then read and write the image to the disk, and I'll just show you quickly what's been generated so you can see that there. Finally, we get the last file, and now we've uploaded it to WordPress. Once we've uploaded it to WordPress, we'll go ahead and set the featured image on the blog post, and we have a success message at the end. So if I double click on the success message, we can see that your blog post, Gemini 2.0 Flashlight, is ready for your review here. So I'll just copy and paste that, put it into URL. And just like that, we have a WordPress blog post. Image has been generated with all the different articles, the formatting, everything looks good. It's always good to just check it. But you'll be able to see now the power of using N8N with Ollama and ComfyUI. We've successfully been able to generate a automated WordPress blog post from an RSS feed. So if your business is struggling with posting content, please reach out and I can show you how to set up this workflow completely for free. So there you have it. We've been able to generate a WordPress blog post with images and chapters all formatted and upload directly into our WordPress website. We've been using Ollama and ComfyUI so that this is a completely 100% free workflow. There are no API calls, and we have full control over the blog post before it is actually posted to our website. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. And if you need any help, please leave a comment below in the YouTube. Otherwise, I'll see you until next time.